I think the type of audience for my media project would probably be from 30 all the way to 70 really. Only because I think the idea of a historical genre probably wouldn't appeal to anyone below 25 or even below 30 in that case. I think if you went to if you went around my high school and asked a load of 17-year-olds or 18-year-olds whether they'd watch a period drama, I think a lot of them would turn around and say no. And then if you'd asked them if they'd seen anything made in the 40s or anything like War Bride, for instance, which is a modern version of a wartime drama, I think a lot of them would say no, I haven't. And also I think if you'd asked them about the war or anything, especially students who hadn't taken history, I think a lot of them would be, I don't really know much about the war, I'm sorry, I can't answer that question. Or a lot of them would answer with silly answers. Also, I think I think it's quite a mature plot to it. If I carried on with the film, there'd be quite a mature plot to it. The idea that she thinks she's lost him in this war. I think the depression that overtakes herself, and the point of the whole plot is, like, the moral of the whole plot is that even though you've lost someone, you've never actually lost someone. They're always in your heart. But I think that it would take a more mature audience to understand that the possibility of losing someone who is never lost to you, it is actually true. But I think if you said this to a 20-year-old, a lot of them would laugh because they're still in the early stages of a relationship, or they'd be not even in a relationship, so you can't really come across with those sorts of ideas with younger people because a lot of them won't capture them, whereas older people will capture them. Like a 40-year-old will capture them because they may have been married for 20 years, or they could have been married for say 5, but they've got children, they're living that middle-aged life, and they understand that living without someone can hurt, so they can associate, they can identify with that character. And I think that's quite a strong point with the audience. And it's quite particular as well. I also think that a lot of females would benefit more from the movie that would come, because they'd be able to associate with the woman, and be able to identify with her. But a male will understand it, and I think a male will sit through and watch it, but I don't think that he'd get that essence. I don't think he'd be able to understand from a woman's point of view how much it hurts for a man to not say he loves you, or how much it hurts for a man not to say to her, or not to talk to her in quite a little while, not to send a telegram, not to send a letter. But I also think for the women to get that telegram saying, I'm sorry, your husband or your partner, your brother, your father, has been killed in a war. I think for a man to see something like that and how the woman reacts to it, I think that's quite mortifying, because of they could sort of identify with the men almost and think, oh God, if that was me there, if that was my wife and I'd ever seen my wife in that sort of distress, that would hurt me, which is quite nice. So yeah, again, my audience would probably be 30 plus and mainly for female, but a lot of men would identify with it.